Hello, welcome to a new video. A video I've never done before. And today we're going to be taking a look at earthquakes. So, it looks like there's some activity here in 2.2, Beaufort, Georgia. Now, this is up in the New Madrid seismic zone right here. This is the 1.4 in Ridgely, Tennessee. And on the 7th, we also saw 2.1. And at 1.6 near Howardsville. And a 1.8 near New Madrid. If you live in the New Madrid seismic zone, well, first of all, actually look up the New Madrid seismic zone, because if you haven't already, if you live in it, you could be up to a 8.5 earthquake, and it's happened before, back in 1800 or so. So please go look it up, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it is right in the center of Missouri here, and right in about this area where most of these earthquakes are happening that you see that I'm literally talking about right now. For Oklahoma, there was a 2.2 in Sparks and a 1.8 and a 1.6 near Watonga. So I definitely check that out. Look at that. Earthquakes in Oklahoma. When I first joined USGS, I actually didn't know that there were so many earthquakes in Texas, Oklahoma, and the East Coast. Never knew it. For Texas, it looks like there was a 1.8 and 1.5 in Falls City. And some up here by Holmes Gardens. Garden City. 2.9 and a 2.2. There's also a 2.0. 2.4 up here. A little bit of activity. Utah, there's a 0.7 in Milford. A little bit of activity up here in the Cabinet Mountains. It looks like 1.2 in Finley Point. Hold on, I don't think I'm showing U.S. faults. Here we go. There's the fault lines. It looks like this was from the Mission Fault in the Flathead Lake section. It looks like it was off from here. Flathead Lake section. And then there was a... Looks like it could have been that or... it's Flathead Lake section. It looks like this is a 1.0 in Lovelock, 0.0 on the Oldinghouse fault zone. The Honey Lake fault had a 0.7, 1.3, 0.5, a couple smaller ones down here. Delta had one again, right near the Elsinore fault zone, Laguna, Salada section. Now, this fault can produce a little bit of earthquakes, but it's really this plate that does it, and it produced a 2.8. The Imperial fault also did a little bit of activity here, a 1.8, it looks like. Here, and the Imperial fault is mainly this activity. And then there's the Brawley seismic zone, which is a big strip of activity that can happen here. And this actually goes through the Salton Buttes, which I don't have up here right now, but we can go to it. I think it's Volcano Hazards. Volcano Hazards program here. The Geological Survey, yes, here it is. And this is the volcano that we are talking about, but it does not want to seem to zoom in for me. I don't know what's going on. Why doesn't it want to zoom in for me? But anyways, it's the Salton Buttes right here. And it seems to be green right now, so no signs of earthquake. Well, you know what I mean. There was some earthquakes down here in Salton City. A 1.2 and a 1.3. And some microquakes around Julian. Some off from the 3.4 we had the other day in Indio. 3.4. Looks like there was a 1.2 in Running Springs. Grapevine had a 1.5 and a 0.9, and it looks like there were some tremors up here at 1.7 near Greenfield and a 2.7 near Pinnacles. And 2.8 in Cloverdale off the Chichanti Fault and the Makama Fault. There, it looks like there's a 1.2 that literally just came in. No joke. Yep, it just came in. There was not much else, really. There was a 2.0 near Mariposa and Butt Creek Fault. Oh my god. And a 2.5 near Almanor. 1.3 in Falls City and a 0.4 in Mount Rainier. You don't really see that. You see Mount St. Helens, but guess Mount Rainier decided to burst a little. It looks like there's a little small one up here by Sitka, 0.4 on Sitka. There was a 1.7 near Yakutat, a 3.3 near Mount Denali, 3.4. Definitely some activity on this Denali fault here, which is the Tazana Muldrow section. It's definitely pulling some strain here. It's either releasing a bunch of pressure or building up somewhere else. There's also a 3.3 and 3.1 here by Seward or Chiniga, Alaska. Could somebody explain what that cat-looking thing is there? I'm confused. Looks like there was some regional stress here at 4.6 near Carluck. And 4.6 near Atka. There's also some minor earthquakes down here near Rat Islands. That's where my sister belongs. 4.9 near Kamchatka, Starry, Russia. It looks like the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench has been a bit active here. So there was a 4.9, a 4.5, 4.1, 4.2, and a 4.3. And going down into the Japan Trench, there was a 4.0, 4.8 near Pagan, and a 5.1 near Marezo Village, Guam. Bit of activity here on the Philippines Trench, a 4.8 near Arasasan, and a 4.5 here. 4.8 near Los Palos, Timor-Leste, I think that's how you say it, East Timor. The 4.6 near Kayana-2, Papua New Guinea. 4.5 near Lada, Solomon Islands. 4.5 south of Fiji. 5.1 near Tonga. 4.8 and a 5.0 right on that Tonga Trench there. Now the Tonga Trench can produce a lot of stress here because it comes off this Southeast Indian Ridge, and it is a lot of this connecting place, so it does have a lot of that pressure there that builds up, and then it releases so much. You know, we saw that 6.6 here the other day, I think it is. We can go back here 30 days, and yeah, the 6.6 right here in Tonga, set only 79 miles deep, and it built up a lot of stress after that 6.6. But then it looks like it's releasing it again, so we might want to watch that area for another bigger earthquake. But this has been building up stress for years on end now, since I think 2012. Am I right or wrong? I think there was a one, I think right here actually. That was a big one. A little bit of stress here in Iran off one of the plates. There was an earthquake up here near Longyearbyen, Svalbard, and Jan Mayen. And it does look like there's a 5.0 on the Peru-Chile Trench here in Uchiza, Peru, there. And in the Drake Passage, there was a bit of activity here near South Sandwich Islands on the 7th, it looks like, and the 10th. Yeah, it looks like the 10th was the last, so that was only 3 days ago. And I think that's when we had the swarming here. But for Hawaii, there has been a bit of activity here on some of these. There was some earthquakes here over Pahala. looks like the biggest was a 2.2. If I go here, I can actually look up the largest was a 3.4 near Volcano, Hawaii, on the Kealoha volcano, I think it is. Either Kilauea or Kauai volcano. The Mauna Loa looks like it had a 1.4 on its summit. And I think that's a volcano right there, Kilauea volcano. It is. I'm wrong here. I'm not even going to bother looking it up, but there was an earthquake out here near Kelowna. Sorry, I'm probably saying these names wrong. 2.5 here. But anyways, yeah, we've had some activity here over the past few days that have actually been much larger than any other earthquake, really. Puerto Rico has been seeing a little bit less earthquakes than they have been in the past. There was a 1.7. 2.5, 2.7, and 2.1 near Orocrovis. But they were seeing a bunch of activity here over by the Puerto Rican Trench. And they did see that 4.2 near Antigua, I think it is, and Barbuda. But nothing really too much build up here on this area, because we did see this one right off the Puerto Rican Trench near Guatemala, Pedro, Ampuc, Guatemala, where on the 11th, which was 2 days ago. And then that 4.1 near El Salvador, which was pretty close to San Salvador, right on the Middle American Trench, which was on the 7th. And then it looks like there was a bit of regional stress here on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. 4.3, 4.1, and a 4.1. There was some stress here at 5.7, and a little bit of activity here at 5.1, 4.8, and a 4.4, which I'm guessing is what moved up to this. And then there was that one in Colombia, which is a bit more rare. We don't really see those there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad you could stay here. This is actually not the most my screen resolution can go to, so if you notice it's a little bit wacky, I've been fiddling with it. For some reason, my screen recording app, which I use as the game bar, doesn't really want to work. I don't know why, but it's not working for some reason, so I lowered the screen resolution. It's actually recorded 12 minutes of it. I don't know if that fixed it. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But it hasn't really, changed. It did work for me, though. And then I forgot to say the 6.2 here on the Pacific and Arctic Ridge with a couple aftershocks here. But it was, I think, a 5.3, 5.1, 5.0, and a 4.7. So a lot of activity there. And there was actually a smaller 4.5 for a trench. You don't really see that. Or the ridge, you don't really see one that small. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in either tomorrow's update or another... Oh, sorry, that was so loud. Another update here. It is 9:51 as I am recording this, so much longer than an update than I thought. As my first video, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video gets somewhere. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you can spread this to somebody. And please look up that new Madrid seismic zone. I will actually make a video on the new Madrid seismic zone eventually. But Earthquake Studio is here to help you understand about these earthquakes, what they are. And it can be tough understanding what an earthquake actually is. What is an earthquake anyways? Well, it's when the ground shifts. That's an easy explanation of it. Now, if you want to, you can look up videos in the new Madrid seismic zone, or just look up general earthquakes. A general look on it. I know Wikipedia has a good look on it. But really, when you see this buildup of earthquakes over the few days that we've had, they're not very spaced out. And I know most earthquakes, you have aftershocks, but when you have small ones and they're not aftershocks, then it's probably not major. Now, of course, this is the Great Smoky Mountains area. There was one in South Carolina and Sugar Hill area. But anyways, I'm just saying, make sure you look up something about the New Madrid seismic zone, because you can only be so much, you can only have so much education about something before you just kind of bore yourself out of it. And that's one thing with earthquakes, is you can get bored out pretty quickly of it unless something big happens. So anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow night, or otherwise next Thursday. Bye-bye.